They're going good. I know it's a little bit different of adjustment for the guys. I know Ricky's been the guy, and now with him going down, the guys have been really welcoming, make me feel right at home, and they're behind me, which is always a good feeling because whether you do good or bad, it's always nice to have your teammates behind you and on your side.
You talked a little bit about not wanting to overshadow or step on toes with the starting quarterback. Now it's your opportunity to kind of take the lead and be a little bit more vocal. How has that adjustment been?
So far, so good. I mean, today it was first day of practice, and I didn't really have to do too much. But I think it'll be a learning process. I have an idea of what it's going to be like in my head, but I won't know until I actually get out there and get to do that a little bit more. And it'll show a little bit through practice, but I think especially come game day, because I'll be with the guys from the beginning, and so kind of finding my way and how the best way to handle that will be. I think that'll just take some time.
Was there any communication with the group during the bye?
My funny story, my phone got stolen on Monday. So it was at IKEA too, bad memories for IKEA, but we got a cool dresser for my daughter. So I haven't had a phone since then, and I have a U.S. number, so I had to get the SIM card sent to my parents' house, and they're going to send it up here. So I think some of the guys texted me, they gave me a hard time too when they were watching the games, and they're like, oh, you didn't text back, James? But I don't have a phone right now, so I know some guys tried to reach out. I talked to a couple of them on social media, but for the most part, I didn't really hear anything.
How about Edmonton this week? What are your thoughts on playing your old team?
I'm pretty excited. I know some people will say that it's an advantage because I was with them for 3 years, knowing how the defensive coordinator is, but at the same time, you never know. It could be totally different. But I'm excited to get to see the guys and play against them. I know a lot of them are going to give me a hard time that now I'm live and they can hit me instead of just in practice when they couldn't, but I'm pretty excited for it.
I was going to ask you if Mike Riley's been texting you at all. We know that that's not.
Yes, sir.
But did you ever think that that would be something that would happen with you going up against somebody that you were behind for a couple of years, just learning the game, and now you're going up against him in live action? What does that feel like for you?
It's pretty exciting. I know there's a lot of comparisons, and I've heard a lot from people about, oh, they should have kept me and traded Riley, and but the thing is, there's so many variables you can't compare. I mean, even if I were to go out with the same group of guys Mike did, just subconsciously how guys react and how the defense thinks and how all the other players think, the coaches and the play calls, it's just totally different. So it's so hard to compare. But I am excited. I know he gave me a hard time once at the end of the season. He was like, don't think we're going to take it easy on you when we play you. And but I'm excited for him. He's been doing a good job. I think he's 11 touchdowns already. So he might give me a hard time about being ahead and having to catch up. But I am pretty excited about it. And I was really thankful too when I was in Edmonton. He was nothing but helpful to me. He was never condescending or never trying to put me down or make me feel like I couldn't play. He was always encouraging and helped me out when I needed it.
You and James Wilder were working out in the offseason. Do you think that gives you a bit of an advantage knowing you've already established that relationship with your running back coming into this game and knowing that there's someone on the offense you already have that chemistry with?
A little bit, yes, sir, because that was the biggest thing. I mean, training-wise, it's not like we didn't get to spend a lot of time, but just that time getting to know each other, I think that's a big help, especially when we're back there. And he's the one that we're having to hand off the ball to, but also he's the one that's protecting me too, aside from the offensive lineman. And so I think just having that kind of relationship and then him on the little T-checks or the swings, being on the same page of where he's going to go and where he's going to be, I think that is important. And that's one thing I've learned from my dad is the best way to get to people is build relationships. Because you're trying to make an impact, you're trying to be positive and help improve their life, and everything else will take care of itself. And so that's one thing I've been trying to do. I got to do that with James a little bit, and now hopefully I'll get to do that with some of the other guys and just build that relationship, because when you're out there on the field, you feel so much better and more comfortable when you're with people that you enjoy spending time with, people that you know how they think, how they act, what they like, what they don't like. A lot of people don't realize, but that kind of stuff helps you have that connection on the field. And I'm just hoping I can do that with the guys and the opportunity that I get this weekend.
One other guy I want to ask you was S.J. Green. For last year, especially for Ricky, he was a go-to guy. Do you feel like you're starting to see why that is in practice? Or?
Yes, sir. And the thing about me, I like to throw to everybody because I'm a people pleaser, sometimes to a fault. And so, if I can get someone on a check down or maybe like third, fourth progression, that's kind of what gets me excited. But today I got to see that because we had a lot of opportunities. We did routes on air, and then with scrimmaging and everything, I got a chance to throw to him a little bit, and it is pretty easy. He's got a pretty big catch radius. And I know too, when I get the opportunity and he's there, I don't want to try and force it, because that's one thing I know that some quarterbacks will do is they get a player that they really like to throw to, let's give him the ball no matter what. And I got to make sure, as much as I've enjoyed throwing to him so far, I can't force it when it's not there. When it is, give him the opportunity, and more times than not, I think he's going to make the play.